Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Devil's Digest postgame show following Arizona State's 68-66 loss over UCLA. My name is Justin Lacertosa. Alongside myself is publisher Hode Rubino. And Hode, Arizona State got off to a great start in the first half, came out guns blazing. They made it rain from three-point range. They got good looks on the inside, but it was clear if you watched this game, it was a tale of two halves.
Yeah, it definitely was, Justin. I think that ASU kind of got a taste of their own medicine. How many times have we talked about a second half deficit comeback? We even saw ASU leading by 15 points today in the second half. ASU just a few weeks ago up in Stanford was trailing 16 points in the farm and still coming up victorious. But today, like I said, it was really a cruel deja vu, if you will, for Arizona State in terms of them actually be the team that relinquishes a sizable second half lead. And like I said, in the first half, they definitely were in control. I thought that they played very well offensively. They did balance both some hot outside shooting, as you mentioned, but also were not afraid really to take the ball to the basket. Adam Miller scored Arizona State's first 6 points, and all of them were drives to the basket. So I really felt that ASU was taking advantage of a weak UCLA team that struggled a lot on offense. But like you said, the second half was a whole different story, and it really was also a tale of one team that was able to keep its composure and one team that did anything but that.
Yeah, and Arizona State seemingly crumbled in that second half, but some of it wasn't really their fault. A couple of questionable technical fouls called. Sean Phillips himself got ejected after getting into it with center Adembona. So, Hode, what do you think of those calls that were made down the stretch?
Well, look, it definitely was one of those games where you weren't getting the bounces that you needed to really win a close game. And one of those bounces, yes, it's the refs maybe looking the other way, maybe calling just a traditional foul rather technical foul. But make no mistake about it. And I think Bobby Hurley, to his credit, as dejected as he was in his post-game press conference, I'm sure a lot of you guys already saw by now, he did take responsibility for the staff and for the players really not keeping their composure down the stretch. When that 10-10 mark of the second half hit, and you saw Sean Phillips getting ejected, and not only getting ejected, but UCLA being awarded 4 free throws. Oh, and by the way, when they retain possession, they score on a three-pointer. They take their first lead of the night midway through the second half. And I think everybody in the arena, as optimistic as they were, knew that this very well could be the turning point of the game. I mean, ASU just a couple minutes earlier was still having a double-digit lead in the second half, but I think that UCLA defense, which really has been the calling card of a very struggling Bruins squad this season, finally showed its true colors. And really able to shut down ASU. If you recall, the beginning of that second half, if ASU didn't continue their hot three-point shooting, I think that UCLA could even grab that lead much earlier in that second period. But it just really felt that the wheels did come off, and some will say that maybe it was just too expected, too obvious that once that ejection of Sean Phillips did take place, when UCLA was able to score 7 points as a result of that ejection. And by the way, there was also a technical foul on Jemiah Neal later on, a technical foul on Brian Silabonga later on as well. So that just really added insult to injury. And again, I'm not absolving ASU by any means for really not knowing to keep their cool, but I don't know how many times in our lifetime we're going to see one team that's called not for one but 4 technical fouls all in the second half. And you look at the free throw disparity. UCLA just in the second half alone, 16 out of 21 from the line. ASU 5 of 10 from the line. Yes, Arizona State's long-standing issues at the charity stripe was just one of those issues that was just waiting to bite him hard, and it definitely bit him hard today. But nonetheless, I think that the fact that they just were called for just an upteen number of technical fouls just really hurt ASU. So there's a lot really to take away from this game, from this team that needs to really have a whole different demeanor, whether it's Saturday against USC or whether it's just down the stretch in Pac-12 play, because they really just can't have just issues snowball in a hurry, and that's really the story of the game. But going back to your earlier point, Justin, second half was just very uncharacteristic of ASU. Again, this is a team that mounts really impressive comebacks in the second half. Tonight, they're on the other side of the fence.
So Arizona State falls to 10-7 on the season. They've lost 2 straight games, lost their first home game of the season tonight. Luckily, they got one more home game on Saturday against USC at noon. So, Hode, what's it going to take for this ASU team to bounce back against a tough competitor?
Well, first of all, you kind of wonder about USC. They did get drubbed down in Tucson by 15 points. What kind of mindset are they going to come into the game? But I think if you're ASU, you're just more worried about your own mindset. Sure, you're frustrated. Sure, you're mad as you know what. But are you going to channel all that energy in a positive direction, or you're just going to let the emotions really get the better of you? If the first 5 minutes of the first half, maybe the first 5 minutes of the second half, things are not going your way, are you just going to really just come unraveled at the seams? And look, I don't mean to harp too much on the Pac-12 refs and how everybody hates them, but sometimes the refs really act as a close fraternity, and if they see 3 of their brethren getting absolutely booed to the high heavens here on Wednesday, who knows if the new set of refs on Saturday aren't going to be just really in defensive mode and maybe call the ticky-tack calls that the fans, I think, absolutely have no patience whatsoever. And by the way, about the Pac-12 refs, I did tweet earlier today. I know a lot of folks are saying, man, I can't wait until those Pac-12 refs are just nowhere to be seen in ASU games. The Big 12 is expanding to 16 teams for the first time in their conference history. Where do you think they're going to get those refs that they need for 8 conference games at any given night? I think you pretty much know the answer. But if you're ASU, you really just can't worry about the refs. You really have to worry about yourself, and you just do a much better job of just holding on to a second half lead if you're going to be so lucky to have one against USC, and just really treat this loss, as bitter as it was, as a very painful lesson on how not to handle your business, if you will. So definitely a loss that ASU is not going to forget for a long time. And my friend over here, Justin, his first assignment for Devil's Digest. Boy, did you pick a game as you made a voyage to the website. But welcome to Devil's Digest, Justin.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's great to be here alongside someone so talented as you and a publication so reliable as Devil's Digest. So thank you, Hode, for your constant insight and analysis on Arizona State sports. To stay locked in on coverage of everything Arizona State sports related, go to DevilsDigest.com. Follow Devil's Digest on Twitter at Devil's Digest. We'll see you guys on Saturday. Have a good night.